Announcement. We have at the gallery students of Equa Hills Christian Academy, Equa Good News, Panama Street, Maitama, Abuja. You may please rise for recognition. Honorable colleagues, let us appreciate them. Kogi State, please rise up for recognition. Please, honorable colleagues, let us appreciate them. We also have at the gallery student of Al-Izan Islamic Academy, Kefi, Nasarawa State. Please let us appreciate them. This is an announcement from the Committee on Appropriation to all chairmen of Standing Committee 2018 budget, submission of report through honorable members of Appropriation Committee. You are hereby reminded to submit your 2018 budget reports having exceeded the deadline of 15 February 2018. Kindly note that you are to turn in your report through the honorable members of the Appropriation Committee attached to your committees, the list of which have been communicated to you. This procedure will ensure that committee reports conform to the guidelines of the 2018 budget in their entirety. Announcer, Chairman, House Committee on Appropriation, Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki. This is another announcement from the Chairman House Committee on Appropriation to all members of the state on the listed, which I will mention. 2018 Zonal Intervention Project budget threshold for states. The Committee on Appropriation notes that arising from the 2017 budget exercise, the following states are yet to resolve their Zonal Intervention Project budget threshold. That is between the honorable members and distinguished senators. Please, these states must listen. Bayelsa, Benue, Ekiti, Jigawa, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Osun, Oyo, Yobe, and Zamfara. All these states, the Chairman Appropriation Committee said, you have not properly aligned with the senators on the threshold for what belongs to the House of Representatives and the Senate. Maybe for the abundance of doubt, let me mention the states again. Bayelsa, Benue, Ekiti, Jigawa, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Osun, Oyo, Yobe, and Zamfara. Notice of defection. I wish to notify you and the entire House that I have defected to the All Progressive Congress. This action and decision is as a result of the factionalization in the Labour Party that sponsored my election into the House of Representatives. Presently, there are two persons laying claim to the position of the national chairman of the party with attendant factional national executive committees. After wide consultation with my constituents, I have been advised to formally defer to the All Progressive Congress so that we can together actualize our visions of moving our constituency, Oyo State, and Nigeria at large forward. This action is in tandem with the provision of the Section 68(1)(g) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. This letter is for information and for record purposes. It's written by Honorable Segun Ogunwuyi, who has now become a member of the All Progressives Congress. Honorable Osai. Honorable Osai, your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, my point of order arises from section 68, subsection 2 of that section. Mr. Speaker, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai. I represent local Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my point of order, the already issues of a defection arises from section 68, subsection 2. Mr. Speaker, you agree with me that in this chamber, maybe 2 months ago, shall vacate his seat in the house of which he is a member if he became a member of another legislative house. Any other circumstances arise that if he were not a member of the Senate or the House of Representatives and will cause him to be disqualified. F, without just cause he is absent. G, being a person whose election to the House was sponsored by a political party. He becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected. That is one canon. Another issue, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, is that the President of the Senate or the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as the case may be, shall give effect to the provision of subsection 1 of this section. So, however, that the President of the Senate or the Speaker of the House of Representatives or a member shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House, that is the entire House. That evidence, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable, you don't explain your point of order. Just raise your point of order. Don't explain. No, you can't appropriate and reappropriate at the same time. So, Honorable, take your seat. Honorable, take your seat. Honorable Osai, thank you very much. Your point of order is noted. And the person who had just defected told us why he is defecting. So we have noted your point of order. Honorable colleagues, any member who has a petition to present to the House may please rise to do so. John Bull, Honorable John Bull.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is John Bull Shekarau. I represent Bigang from Panshandam, and I am PDP. Mr. Speaker, all members, I rise to present a petition from one of my constituents, Emmanuel Nyamtet, who was appointed the Director of Accounts and Finance of Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, in Ogun State, on the 19th of March, 2010. Mr. Speaker, honorable commissioners, this humble constituent of mine was issued a query by the registrar of the university on the 26th of February 2013. Subsequently, his appointment was terminated without any cogent reason. He tried to respond to the query, but he was not given the opportunity to respond to the query. Suddenly, his appointment was terminated. The reason for the termination of appointment has not been made very clear to him. Therefore, he has no choice but to have recourse to this humble house under the leadership of Mr. Speaker, to intervene and see how this injustice based on him will be addressed. On this note, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I seek for your humble or your kind permission to allow me lay this petition before the House.
Please do. Honorable O.C. Prestige.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I have a petition here from Magna Pass Law Partners. My name is Honorable Prestige O.C., member representing Abasat Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State of the Abga extraction. Mr. Speaker, my petition is from Magna Pax Law Partners on behalf of Mr. Ike Joy Uzo. This Ike Uzo is complaining of victimization, unfair treatment, and breach of public service rules by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in these dealings with this gentleman. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ike is praying that this honorable house, a responsible house, should let this particular agency of government, let the client be unconditionally reabsorbed effective from 1st February 2017 and his payment and salaries and allowance to date be paid. That the client be paid allowances due to him from 2007. That our client be properly placed on SS2 effective 1st May 2017. That our client be paid 8 months.
Honorable O.C., don't turn your petition to emotion. You know, just you are okay. One prayer is sufficient. Honorable O.C., don't turn your petition to emotion. Please do. Honorable Adekola.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Shegun Alexander Adekola, member representing Ekiti South Federal Constituency 1 of Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have a petition from a Nigerian that is under my jurisdiction as the chairman of the Committee on Youth Development, a former copper. You will recall on 1st of 2011.
Honorable Adekola, just present your petition, the title, and maybe one of the prayers, then come and lay.
Is the calling on the Minister of FCT to revisit the case of Ms. Nelly Chinenye since government is a continuum. Ms. Chinenye and ex-copper was celebrated some 8 years ago for altruistic and exemplary behavior and for outstanding performance as a copper in the area of community development. 11 of them were given automatic employment. Mr. Speaker, as we are talking now, 10 of the 11 have been given automatic employment. Left out only Ms. Chinenye Ruben. So he is pleading and he signed a petition for his case to be revisited. I wish to lay the petition, sir.
Please do. Honorable Tony Woye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Dr. Tony Woye. I represent the group of Anambra Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, this petition is from one of my constituents, Mr. Fidelis Mwaluno by name. Mr. Speaker, he was a staff of Independent Electoral Commission, and the summary of his petition is that he proceeded on annual leave in 2006, and when he came back, he was told that his file was missing. Mr. Speaker, since then, he has not been paid salaries and arrears, salaries, allowances, and others. Mr. Speaker, he is praying that Independent Electoral Commission should be agreed to, persuaded by this Honorable House to reinstate him and pay him his salaries and allowances as at window. I indulge you and crave your indulgence for me to lay this petition.
Please do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleague, I remain Engineer Obidna Obari Kingsley, member representing the good people of Isi Alamba, Nonim, and the Kiwe Federal Constituency of Imo State, proudly PDP member. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Kala Jenny, you are disturbing the House.
I have a petition from my constituent. A petition from my constituent against unjust dismissal by the Nigerian police. The petitioner contracted a serious alarming and was vomiting blood while on duty. The Nigerian police could not provide immediate response. He then obtained a permission to go and seek for treatment, but after treatment, he was dismissed from office. The petitioner is hereby appealing to this honorable House to review his case and order the Nigerian police to recall him back. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, may you please request me to lay this petition before this honorable House. Thank you.
Please do. Petitions referred to the Committee on Public Petition. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 12 bills. The clerk is invited to read his church titles.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2018, first reading. Federal Polytechnics Act Amendment Bill 2018, first reading. Federal College of Education Technical Doma Establishment Bill 2018, first reading. Federal College of Education Obot Akara Establishment Bill 2018, first reading. Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Auditors of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2018, first reading. Federal College of Education Effort Alake Establishment Bill 2018, first reading. Defense Research and Development Bureau Bill 2018, first reading. Nigerian National Commission Against Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons Bill 2018, first reading. Freedom of Information Act Amendment Bill 2018, first reading. Certified Council of Allied Dental Health Professionals Establishment Bill 2018, first reading. Defense Industries Corporation Act Amendment Bill 2018, first reading. Nigerian Institute of Leather and Science Technology Bill 2018, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of 4 reports of the Committee on Housing, standing in the name of Honorable Ahmed Baba Keita. The reports are ready for presentation. Honorable Keita is invited to present them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Ahmed Baba Keita, representing Keita Kusade Gao, Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, may I move the motion that this House to receive the report of the Committee on Housing, to receive the report on the Committee on Housing on a bill for an act to repeal the National Housing Fund Act tab N45, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the National Housing Fund Act to make provision for additional sources of funding and related matters, HB 1077. May I equally on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria Act Cap F16, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make comprehensive provisions for establishment of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and its board of directors and for related matters, HB 911. Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, may I move that this House do receive the report on the Committee of Housing on a bill for an act to establish the Institute of Mortgage Bankers and Lenders of Nigeria to regulate the activities and ensure professionalism in the system and for related matters, HB 465. The last but not the least, may I move that this House do receive the report on Committee on Housing on need to ensure full compliance with the National Housing Fund Act for effective housing delivery in Nigeria, HB 59/2017. I so move.
Comrade Aminu Suleiman.
Right Honorable Speaker, I am from Kano State. And my name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. I represent Page Federal Constituency. Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to second that all the 4 bills presented for consideration by Honorable Babangida Keita should be received. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Keita, please lay the reports. Kule Akilade, Isaac Ibrahim. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Notary Public Act Chapter N141, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable OK. Jeff Emmanuel. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 27 September 2017. And I invite Honorable OK. Jeff to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. OK. Jeff, I represent the good people of Buruku. My dear colleagues, I'm from Federal State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the Notaries Public Act Cap N141, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters be read a second time. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Akiwumi Olaito.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Nuruddin Olaitan Akiwumi. I represent the people, the good people of Fakoijaye Federal Constituency from the State of Excellence. I rise to second the motion that the bill for an act to amend the Notaries Public Act be read second time. I so second.
Honorable K. Jeff, lead the debate.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. Once again, I'm OK Jeff and I represent the good people of Buruku from Benue State. Mr. Speaker, this is a bill.
Honorable Ahmed Baba Keita, please, can you resume your seat? Keita, please.
This is a bill that is meant to amend the Notaries Public Act. My dear colleagues, for the uninitiated, a notary public is a special breed in the legal community. And let me illustrate, maybe starting from the continental Europe. If you go to France, property conveyancing is the exclusive monopoly of a notary public. If you go to Germany, you cannot set up a company or incorporate a company unless you get a seal from a notary public. If you go to Holland, for instance, about 80 types of documents cannot be done by any other person, whether you are a legal practitioner or not, unless you are a notary public. In Nigeria, notaries public are senior legal practitioners who have been so appointed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria to act according to the Notaries Public Act. Now, the summary of their role is that they prepare documents, they attest documents, they verify documents, and they certify documents. The whole idea behind it is to avoid fraud, to ensure that a signature on the document is actually the signature of the claim maker of that document. Now, the Hague Convention has given international recognition to the office and see of a notary public. Now, because of the important role that notaries public play, there has to be a legal framework for their operations. Hence, the Notary Public Act that we seek to amend today. My dear colleagues, this act was crafted in the UK way back in 1936, 24 years before Nigeria got its independence. So it can comfortably be said to be one of those inherited laws from our colonial masters. And because of the length of time, my dear colleagues, it is just apt that we should take a look at it in line with the 8th legislative agenda of the 8th Assembly to fish out archaic laws and reform them. That is what we seek to do here. My dear colleagues, the Notaries Public Act that we seek to amend has 3 objectives. One, like I pointed out, is to delete any archaic sections that we've come across. We have identified them here. 2 is to empower the Chief Justice of Nigeria to appoint, not only appoint, but also apportion or allocate functions to the notaries public that have been so appointed. And then it is to update the fines, because what we have here is a fine of 100 naira. We have to update the fines to bring it up in tandem with present economic realities. Those are the objectives. Now to the specifics. We seek to amend just 4 sections, my dear colleagues. Section 2 is the one I've already highlighted. That is to allow the CJN, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, should be updated from 100 naira to 50,000 naira. Section 20 and 21, my dear colleagues. Section 20 and 21, we have recommended that they be deleted. Why? Because if you look at section 20, it says that anybody who has been approved in England to be a notary public can practice anywhere in Nigeria. Definitely this is an archaic portion of the law. Section 21 says that if you have been suspended as a notary public, or your name is not on the roll of notaries public, and you practice, you are liable to be penalized. Now, no, you cannot practice in England. We have also recommended that this portion be deleted too. That you can practice even when your name, I got it wrong, sorry. Even when your name was not there, if you were authorized in England to practice, you could practice it here. Now we are deleting it that now it has to be somebody that has been approved or appointed by the CJN of Nigeria that can practice in Nigeria in that capacity. So those are the four sections that we recommended. Now we get this bill over to the NILS to take a look at it. And they recommended, apart from the ones that were contained in the brief that I proposed, the NILS also recommended 2. So this will be for the committee, I think, if it's finally allowed to go to the committee, that sections 13, subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4 should be recommended. To the extent that magistrate courts should be added to the high court, because it is not in every portion of every place in Nigeria that you have high court. So that is a recommendation from the NILS, which is not included in the budget here. So because of this, and in line with the legislative agenda that we should fish out and update our laws, I therefore crave your indulgence, my dear colleagues, that you allow this bill to go to second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues.
Honorable Shagari.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Aminu Shehu Shagari, I represent Yabo Shagari constituency in Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this is one of the bills from the stable of the 8th Assembly in the exercise we've been carrying out to fish out archaic laws and reform them. I'm indeed proud to be a member of the 8th Assembly during the time when we have done more bills, or we have passed more bills than the previous 2 assemblies combined. This bill seeks to amend the Notary Public Act. Let me first of all say that the compendium given by Honorable Jeff is very explicit. A Notary Public is a senior lawyer that authenticates, prepares, attests, verifies, and witnesses or certifies a document as genuine. Now, this act is fashioned after the one in the UK, and some of the provisions contained therein are, with due respect, dogmatic, if I may say so. Like the section 2 that is sought to be amended here says a notary appointed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria shall perform the same duties and exercise the same functions as a notary in England. So this section is going to be deleted, and in its place, this is what the bill is suggesting. A notary appointed by Chief Justice of Nigeria shall perform such other functions as may be specified by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. You will all agree with me that this is a more elegant and more dignifying draft than the one we had in the previous act. And then the section 16 is only increasing the substituting the fine there to 50,000 as opposed to 100,000. And the next amendment is only deleting section 20 and 21, which says any person who by virtue of a faculty granted by the Master of Faculties in England is authorized to act as a notary public in Nigeria. You don't agree with me that this is an archaic law and should be done with. So that is all this bill seeks to do, and I urge my colleagues to please support this important bill. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Empty.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tair Munguno. I represent Marte Munguno, Nganzai, Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this law that is sought to be amended today is one of the laws that was inherited by Nigeria as a statute of general application from our colonial masters. And most of these laws that we inherited as statute of general application are archaic, are no longer relevant to application to an independent country like Nigeria. For example, the issue of what once you are qualified to practice as a notary public in England, automatically qualifies you to practice as a notary public in Nigeria is archaic, because we are an independent country, and your qualification to practice as notary public in England should not make you qualified to practice as a notary public in Nigeria. Because even if you practice as a lawyer in England, does not mean that by the time you come back to Nigeria, you will practice as a lawyer. You have to be certified by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. You have to be called to the Nigerian bar before you are qualified to practice as a legal practitioner in Nigeria. So the same thing should apply to be qualified to practice as a notary public in Nigeria. Then with regard to the issue of fines that you mentioned, it is no longer in reality with our economic realities. And then
in favor of the motion, say aye. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Notaries Public Act, Chapter N141, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Federal Judiciary for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Personal Income Tax Act, Chapter P8, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide that personal income tax deduction of a worker should be remitted to the tax authority of the state where he works and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Tasir Olawale Raji, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 17 January 2018, and I invite Honorable Raji to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Wale Raji. I represent a federal constituency of Lagos State. I move that a bill for an act to amend the Personal Income Tax Act, Cap P8, Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide that personal income tax deduction of a worker should be remitted to the tax authority in the state where he works and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mazu.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Ismail Amwazu Hassan, member representing Akko Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second motion moved by my colleague, therefore seconded.
Honorable Raji, lead the debate.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, and my colleagues. The bill is a very straightforward one, and it seeks to amend the personal income tax such that a worker pays his personal income tax in the state where he works and earns the income, and not the state where he resides. And the basic reasons behind this is...
Honorable Raji, there is a point of order. Dr. M.S. Abdul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mohammed Sani Abdu, Al-Kalerikir Federal Constituency. I'm from Bauchi State. I am raising point of order, Order 12, Rule 3. It's talking about compendium. Says on the introduction of a bill, a compendium of background information shall be delivered to all members if this is an amending bill. An up-to-date consolidation of the Act or acts to be amended shall be delivered unless the bill amends an Act amended previously in the session. So
you have raised your point. I'll take your seat. Honorable Raji, where is the compendium?
Please, honorable members, please. Honorable members, please. Please, order. Order.
Honorable, please allow. I've given the floor to Honorable Raji. Please let us hear him on the compendium, so that we can make a ruling on the point of order. Honorable Raji, where is the compendium to the bill?
Mr. Speaker, it was submitted along with the brief, and if you permit me, I can look for a copy of the compendium as circulated.
Rules and business.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I have been a chief proponent that people should comply with this section, with this rule. So I find my hands tied if it's not complied with. And let me just say this. People mistake legal brief with a compendium of information. At the risk of sounding immodest, I want to hold up my own today that I just did. If you are amending the bill, you have to bring the old bill, the act, and the proposals contained in your bill on the other side of it. That is, if you just write an essay and think that you have complied with this order, you have not. And by the way, I have not gotten, as Chairman Rules and Business, I have not even gotten it. I'm not.
You don't put question on point of order. I have to rule. Honorable Raji, just take your seat. Since the chairman House Committee on Rules and Business is the custodian of our documentation, and he made allusion to the fact that he himself too does not have a copy of what we call compendium, then I have no other alternative than to step down the bill until you are able to provide the compendium and it will be listed. So I will advise the chairman House Committee on Rules and Business to slate a very, very close date for the second reading of this bill. But for today, the bill is stepped down based on that point of order. Honorable colleagues, the third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle. Chief Whip.
Silence, please. Honorable Dr. Salame. Honorable Salame, please. Honorable members, please. Please. Order. EJ, Honorable EJ, please. Ali Jesse, Ali Isa Jesse, please. Please resume your seat, please. Honorable EJ. Honorable EJ, please.
The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act.
Honorable Chuchu, please.
To amend the National Human Rights Commission Act, Chapter N46, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to create a special department to be known as Department of Religious Freedom in the commission, which shall be saddled with the responsibility of receiving and handling complaints bordering on violation of freedom of religion as enshrined in Section 38 of the 1999 Constitution and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Edward Giampajo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 31st October 2017. I now invite Honorable Pajok to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Edward Pajok. I represent Just South, Just East. Mr. Speaker, may I move that a bill for an act to amend the National Human Rights Commission Act, Cap N46, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to create a special department to be known as Department of Religious Freedom in the Commission, which shall be saddled with the responsibility of receiving and handling complaints bordering on violation of freedom of religion as enshrined in Section 38 of the Constitution and for related matters, HB 1189, be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
Chairman, House Committee on Gas.
Honorable Goodluck.
Chairman Gas, please resume your seat. Honorable Lawal Mazu, please.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Francis Charles Uyok, member representing Korabas and Barani, Eastern Obolo Federal Constituency. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second the motion that the bill HB 1189 be read the second time. I so second.
Honorable Pajok, lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, we know that our Constitution in Section 38 gives every Nigerian citizen the right.
Honorable Ali Isa, Ali Jesse, please.
The right of
Honorable Fred Abedi, please.
Religion. That means that.
Honorable Kule Akilade. Honorable Biodun Awoleye.
Fred Abedi.
Biodun Awoleye.
Honorable Jerry, please. Jerry Olabeso, relax your face. You are looking too angry.
Mr. Speaker, may I start by reading Section 38, just one of the provisions, which says, every person shall be entitled to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, including freedom to change his religion or
Shehu Musa,
freedom,
please.
either alone or in community with others, and in public or in private, to manifest and propagate his religion or belief in worship, teaching, practice, and observance.
Honorable Zakari Mohammed,
Mr.
please
Speaker,
sit properly.
That is the law today in Nigeria. But Mr. Speaker, this law, I dare say, is observed more in the breach than in compliance. And people are usually helpless when there is violation of right of religion. So I am proposing this bill so that we now empower the Human Rights Commission, which was created by this parliament, to address all issues of denial of freedom of religion, which is a fundamental human right. Mr. Speaker, by it being placed in Chapter 4 of the Constitution, it makes it justiciable. That is to say that all Nigerians must be given freedom of religion by virtue of the fact that they are human beings. But we do not have any agency that is given the responsibility of ensuring that these rights are protected. So if we now accede to this bill, it means that we are now going to create a special department in the Human Rights Commission, which will now receive complaints from Nigerians whenever their rights are violated in this regard. Now, they will not reach a conclusion. They first of all investigate such complaints that would have been made known to them. And if they find that, yes, there has been a violation, then they will now find a way of making sure that there's redress for those violations. Mr. Speaker, I have looked at the comparable laws in some other countries. Like in the US, they even have a special center, a commission, to address issues of a violation of religious rights. But in Nigeria, for now, we may not even have the money to say we're going to set up a special center to address issues of violation of religious rights. That's why I'm saying, now that we have a Human Rights Commission, because religious rights are also human rights, are also the human rights. So let us create a department that started with that responsibility by law to ensure that, yes, we address issues of religious rights. Mr. Speaker, let me further add that today in Nigeria, the issues of manipulation of religious sentiments is one of the things that is causing national tension, which is even trying to tear us apart as a country. Religion is supposed to be a personal thing. It's between any citizen and God Almighty. Of course, if a citizen is less than 18 years, he is expected to follow the religion of his parents, whether his father, his mother, or his guardian. But once he has crossed 18 years, he is entitled to say, this is my religion, this is how I want to believe, without another person denying or violating that right. So I think that in this day and age, where there's a lot of tension on account of manipulation of religious sentiments, we should create a department in the Human Rights Commission. And in my brief, I've stated all the objectives that will be done in that department. So I urge honorable colleagues to please support this bill. If there are any areas where we will do some necessary amendments, it can be done at the committee stage. I thank Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Zakari Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Zakari Mohammed. I represent Barutinka. I'm a federal constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I want to rise and speak against this bill. Yeah, it's a bill I can speak against it. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want us to be very, very careful. We are legislators and we are leaders in our rights. Things that tend to divide us more, we should lay less emphasis on them. Mr. Speaker, within the existing laws, I don't think there's anywhere in this part of Nigeria where your religious freedom is impeded. Where your freedom to your religion, our constitution is enshrined in our constitution. There's nowhere in this part of Nigeria or any part of Nigeria where your religious freedom is tempered with. If we do this, I remember that there's an erosionary committee in the last administration. We aim at compartmentalizing government operations. Mr. Speaker, we are trying to open up another channel for some people to be doing budgetary provisions that at the end of the day will not even achieve anything. So, Mr. Speaker, I just firmly believe that he said, even in his conclusion, or Rupajok, that religion is a personal thing, and we should treat it as such. And I want to say that, honorable colleagues, we will be doing a great service to the society that we represent if we allow beings of this nature, to pass through us. Because our generation coming up would ask certain questions. They will ask us, and they will begin to ask what manner of leaders were we. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that rather than approve this, the House should take a critical look at this and believe that it will not serve any purpose, rather than serving the purpose of dividing us further. Mr. Speaker, has also been.
Honorable Suleiman.
Honorable Speaker, I am from Kano State. My name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. I represent Page Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also want to toe the line of the immediate past speaker, even though I have tremendous respect for Honorable Pajok. I'm troubled, Mr. Speaker, that we are trying to emphasize this very challenging line that continue to challenge our peace and unity as a nation. And I am not aware that the National Human Rights Commission is barred by our legislation from hearing or deciding on issues of matters of religion. So why do we need to go and create another department? And if the intention is to tackle mistrust, because in Nigeria we are either Muslims or Christians, and no majority, 98 I believe, are either Muslims or Christians. And if there is any violation by any other side, it is either a Christian doing it against Muslim or a Muslim doing it against Christian. Now, if you go further to say you want to create a department, who will head that department? Who will head the department? Are you going to get a non-Muslim or Christian to go and head a department to address issues concerning Muslim or Christian? I think this bill should not just go, sir.